LoreWarrior Armour Double Feature Regulator Hover Tank Overview. Because so many of the Capellan Confederation's battle mech production facilities had fallen into the hands of the Federated Commonwealth during the Fourth Succession War, Capellan military designers turned their attention toward the creation of effective conventional vehicles. The Regulator is an impressive result of these efforts. It saw action during the recent conflict between the Federated Commonwealth and the Lao-Marak Alliance. Capabilities. This swift and agile tank carries a massive Inokuma Gauss rifle, capable of devastating most targets with 1 or 2 shots. Using its superior speed and maneuverability, the Regulator can train this weapon on the relatively weak sides and rear facings of mechs, using the rifle's devastating power to maximum effect. Powered by a fusion engine and protected by ferrofibrous armour, the Regulator is a state-of-the-art vehicle that incorporates many of the technologies recovered in the past few years. The sophisticated Virtue Track targeting system allows the vehicle to track up to 15 targets simultaneously and provides the Regulator gunner with a pseudo 360-degree viewing system, comparable to that provided by most battle mechs. Deployment. The Regulator saw its first action when Capellan troops landed on the Federated Commonwealth world of Tsingtao in support of a popular uprising. Guerrilla raids had effectively paralysed the local government, allowing the rebels to seize control of several population centres. The garrison commander of Sing City, Captain Amanda King, managed to extricate her battle mech forces and march to engage the enemy troops advancing from the south. On seeing that the Lao force consisted of vehicles, Captain King ordered her mechs to pick off the vehicles with her long-range weapons. As a large portion of the Lao force did consist of Pegasus and Scimitar class vehicles, with primarily short-range weapons, this strategy should have paid off. However, the Capellan forces also included a lance of Regulators that the Commonwealth battle computers had failed to identify. The Regulators' powerful main guns outranged the guns of the garrison mechs, and the tanks cost the garrison force 3 mechs, including the commander's javelin. Captain King's second-in-command Lieutenant Harrington called for his unit to retreat into the nearby Lambley Forest. 3058 Upgrade Overview. With so many of the Confederation's battle mech production facilities lost to the FedCom during the Fourth Succession War, Capellan military designers turned their attention toward the creation of effective conventional vehicles, the Regulator being a result of this effort. Armed with a massive Gauss rifle, this fast and agile hover tank is capable of devastating most targets with 1 or 2 shots. With its speed and maneuverability, the Regulator can outflank a mech, train its weapon on the weaker or rear facings to achieve maximum damage. And built with state-of-the-art technology, the fusion-powered Regulator is a testament of Capellan design using ferrofibrous and other recovered technologies. The advanced Virtue Track targeting system is capable of simultaneously tracking up to 15 targets, giving the gunner a pseudo 360-degree view, comparable to most mechs. Deployment. The Regulator first saw action during the Marak Lao offensive on the world of Tsingtao, where a lance of the heavy hover tanks destroyed 3 FedCom mechs, forcing the unit's second-in-command to retreat. The Regulator proved its worth during many actions in the Chaos March and the Confederation-St. Ives Civil War. With Hassek's invasion of the Confederation, the Regulator is once again proving its worth. Every CCAF frontline and reserve unit deploys several lances or more of this impressive fighting vehicle, and the Regulator's capabilities and ruggedness earned its title as the premier hover tank in the CCAF. Variants. As with any military technology, tactical doctrine dictates the Regulator's uses. That said, the Regulator received 1 new factory variant and 1 notable field refit in order to support the Capellan's doctrinal change. With the Capellan's now extensive use of Arrow 4 systems, the Regulator was an obvious choice to use as a missile platform. This variant removed the direct-fire weapon and installed the Diyuhua, or Hellfire, Arrow 4 system, specifically designed for the Regulator. 3 tons of ammunition supplies the weapon system, and engineers reduced armor protection to facilitate the Arrow 4 launcher, believing that its speed and maneuverability would more than compensate for this loss. A field refit, also gaining popularity as the Capellan March continues its war against House Lao, combines speed with deadly accurate firepower in the form of a RAC-5 mated to a targeting computer, both Davian technologies salvaged from the battlefield. For added protection against munition explosion, Case protects the weapon's 4 tons of ammo, though growing in legend and popularity, this field refit still remains rare due to the difficulty of obtaining any functioning technology from the field. Notable crews: Sang Xiao, Derek Evans. Commanding the Dynasty Guard's cavalry, Evans's position affords him his choice of vehicles, and he decided to ride the Regulator. During the Fedcom Civil War, the Guard sent a mech battalion supported by an armoured battalion commanded by Evans against the Blackwind Lancers on the world of Chesterton. Working in conjunction with Hell's Black Aces, the two Capellan commands sprung an ambush on elements of the Free Capellan unit. The Aces intercepted the Lancers' lead unit when they entered the system, and forced them to land their dropships on planet. Evans's battalion merged into the Guards, forming augmented units, and met the Lancers' 3rd Battalion head-on. Sang Xiao Evans's command lance led a flanking force, trapping the beleaguered Lancers, and firing on the move and darting between mechs, Evans's Regulator accounted for 3 confirmed tanks and 2 mechs before his own hover tank was disabled. Lancer reinforcements landed to relieve their comrades and destroyed a large portion of the Guard's force. During the outset of Hassek's War, the 8th Certis Fusiliers RCT invaded Lao, and the Dynasty Guards reacted with precision and professionalism. After several months of holding action, Evans's command spearheaded a flanking attack, leading to the collapse of the Fusilier lines. When news of Sion's bombing reached Lao, the Dynasty Guards reacted with unmatched fury. When the smoke cleared, the Fusiliers retreated off-world as a decimated command. The Guard rebuilt in time to face another invasion, this time by the word of Blake. Once again, the stalwart Capellan Hussars met the enemy head-on, and Evans's unit formed the point of a counter-assault launched by the Guards. The Blakeists fought with fanatical fury matching that of the Dynasty Guards, leaving Evans and his command to resist a Blakeist counterattack with a force that outnumbered his own. Sang Xiao Derek Evans selflessly gave his life, allowing the Guards to regroup and forcing the militia to retreat off-world. So the Regulator is a 45-ton hover vehicle with a power plant being the GM170, giving it a cruise speed of 97 kph and a flank speed of 151 kph. Its armour is the Hellespont Light Ferrofibrous and has a single Inokuma Gauss rifle. Its manufacturer is Oldest Industries on the factory in Beetlejuice. The communication system is the Olmsted 37 and its targeting and tracking is the Virtue Track Series 1. So what does this translate into, eh? Well, it's a cruise of 9, a flank of 14 with 10 heat sinks, and it has 30 armour on the front, 16 on each side, 16 on the rear, and 30 on the turret. Pretty good at being able to weather the storm there on the front and the turret, which is usually the 2 locations that you want to get hit the most over its weapon. It's got 16 rounds of fire for the Gauss rifle, which is naturally located in the turret, which gives it a pretty damn good field of fire. This is a vehicle that you definitely don't want to encounter too many of on the field, and you definitely want to try and kill it as quickly as possible. Now, there are drawbacks, of course. Hover tanks do suffer a wee bit more compared to more conventional tracked vehicles or wheeled vehicles in the term of motive hits. For anyone who doesn't know, whenever you roll to hit a hover vehicle, or any vehicle in this case, any ground vehicle, you have a chance of rolling a location, say you hit the front, and I have a little marker, that's a motive hit. And when you do that, you roll another 2d6 and you add based on what the vehicle is and where you hit them from. So on average, you will add +2, +3, that kind of thing to your roll. And hover vehicles can suffer very quickly if they take a hit, which can disable the vehicle's movement entirely. Hover vehicles have the worst of it with motives. It's a fair trade considering the speed that they have. It's to better represent a stray shot, not necessarily killing the vehicle outright, but enough to actually stop it from moving around and forcing the crew either to abandon or turn the thing into a turret. That said, this thing can probably stay out of range long enough that it doesn't have to worry too much about return fire unless itself is under Gauss rifle fire or long range AC fire, any kind of LRMs, that kind of thing. A couple of Regulator hover tanks would be pretty damn frightening to come up against. And now that I think about it, if Naman's listening, this could be a vehicle that could be useful for a future mission. Yes. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I quite like the Regulator. It's a nasty little bugger. Definitely something you could use to scare the players, or something that the players can get hold of and have fun with themselves. But thanks for listening, as always. Hope you have a good week. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.